X that out. Sorry, I was like, point back at your face.
Tilt it down a little. Real life.
Okay. Oh, great. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin O'Connor. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Albany County Capital Resources Corporation, the issuer, in conjunction with the project, which is the subject of this public hearing. I'm also the public hearing officer for this public hearing, and we are holding this public hearing to allow citizens to make a statement for the record relating to the sponsorship and involvement of the issuer with the project, the proposed project, for the benefit of Teresian Housing Corporation, a non-profit corporation, also the borrower. Ms. Shannon Wagner, counsel to the issuer, will provide the description of the proposed project and the borrower's request for financial assistance, along with further information regarding the purpose of the public hearing, the issuer's legal authority, and the issuer's next steps. Once Ms. Wagner is finished, I will then open up this public hearing for comments.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. The proposed project consists of the following. A, the refinancing of the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, also called DASNY, Teresian Housing Corporation Revenue Bond Series 2003, issued by DASNY on June 25th, 2003, in the original aggregate principal amount of $40,265,000, the Series 2003 bonds, which Series 2003 bonds were used to finance the construction and equipping of 152 independent living units consisting of 128 one- and two-bedroom apartments and 24 duplex cottages, a community center with various common areas, including administrative offices, a kitchen and dining area, a lounge and activities area, a convenience store, a library, indoor pool, cafe, arts and hobby studio, a beauty/barber shop, and supporting infrastructure known as the Avila Retirement Community, collectively the facility, on approximately 13 acres of land located at 100 White Pine Drive in the City of Albany, Albany County, New York, collectively the land. The facility and the land are collectively referred to hereinafter as the project facility. All of the foregoing to constitute a retirement community, facility, and other directly and indirectly related activities were used by the borrower. B, the refinancing of certain existing indebtedness of the borrower incurred relating to the project facility. C, the financing of certain capital improvements to the project facility, including but not limited to the renovations, upgrades, and aesthetic improvements to windows, carpeting, HVAC, culinary, balcony columns, sidewalk, parking areas, cooling and heating pipes, and related cooling towers and equipment, generators, roofs, doors, and furniture related to campus cottages, lodge, and main buildings throughout the project facility. D, the financing of all or a portion of the cost of the foregoing by the issuance of tax-exempt and/or taxable revenue bonds of the issuer in one or more issues or series in an aggregate principal amount sufficient to pay a portion of the cost of undertaking the project, together with necessary incidental costs in connection therewith, then estimated to be $22,400,000 and in any event not to exceed $30 million. Collectively, the obligations. E, the paying of a portion of a cost incidental to the issuance of the obligations, including issuance costs of the obligations and any reserve funds as may be necessary to secure the obligations. F, the granting of certain other financial assistance with respect to the foregoing, including exemption from certain mortgage reporting taxes. And G, the making of a loan, of the proceeds of the obligations to the borrower or such other person as may be designated by the borrower and agreed upon by the issuer. For clarification purposes, I would like to state that the obligations of the issuer issued with respect to the proposed project will not be obligations of the State of New York or any municipality thereof, including Albany County, New York, the county, the municipality for whose benefit the issuer was created. In addition, the obligations of the issuer will not be a general obligation of the issuer or the county. This means that if the holders of the obligations are not paid by the borrower, the holders of the obligations will not be able to come back against the issuer or the county. The obligations are not an obligation of the county or the taxpayer. Legal authorization and powers of the issuer. The issuer is a New York not-for-profit corporation created pursuant to Section 1411 of the Not-for-Profit Corporation Law of the State of New York as amended, the Enabling Act. Pursuant to the provisions of the Enabling Act and Revenue Ruling 57-187 and Private Letter Ruling 2009-36012, the county legislature adopted a resolution on September 8, 2014, authorizing the incorporation of the issuer under the Enabling Act and appointing the initial members of the board of directors of the issuer. In September 2014, a certificate of incorporation was filed with the New York State Secretary of State's office, creating the issuer as a public instrumentality of the county. Because the project facility is located within the county, the borrower is eligible for assistance from the issuer. Requirements and procedures regarding the public hearing. This public hearing is being held by the issuer to satisfy the provisions of Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 as amended, the code, and as provided in the Certificate of Incorporation, Section 859-A2 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York. Initially, I would like to note that we have made arrangements for a stenographer to be present in order to accurately make a record of the public comments received. Copies of the notice of this public hearing are available on the table. After consideration of the application submitted by the borrower to the issuer, the members of the issuer adopted a resolution on January 7, 2026, authorizing the issuer to conduct this public hearing with respect to the proposed project. The chairperson of the issuer caused a copy of the certified public hearing resolution to be mailed on January 21, 2026, to the chief executive officers of the county and of each city, town, village, and school district in which the proposed project is or is to be located. The chairperson of the issuer caused notice of this public hearing to be mailed on January 21st, 2026 to the chief executive officers of the county and of each city, town, village, and school district in which the proposed project is or is to be located, and published on January 20th, 2026 in the Times-Union, a newspaper of general circulation available to the residents of the City of Albany, Albany County, New York. In addition, the chairperson of the issuer caused notice of this public hearing to be posted on January 20th, 2026 on the issuer's website and on a public bulletin board located at the offices of the issuer at 111 Washington Avenue, Suite 100, Albany, New York. As noted above, the borrower has requested the issuance of tax-exempt and/or taxable revenue bonds with respect to undertaking the proposed project. The issuer will consider the borrower's request at a subsequent meeting of the issuer currently scheduled for February 4th, 2026, and at such meeting, the issuer will also consider the comments received at the public hearing held today. Such meeting, like all meetings of the issuer, will be open to the general public. Pursuant to Section 147F of the Code, if any portion of the obligations is intended to be issued as federally tax-exempt obligations, the interest on which will be excludable from the gross income of the holders thereof for federal income tax purposes, then prior to issuing such portion of the obligations, the issuer must hold a public hearing on the nature and location of the project facility and the issuance of the obligations. And thereafter, the county executive of the county must approve the issuance of the obligations. The purpose of this public hearing is to solicit public comment with respect to the issuer's involvement with the proposed project. We are not here to answer questions, although in the course of the hearing, we will consider questions if we have the information to answer the questions and there is sufficient time to consider such questions. Further, questions or comments regarding the environmental, planning, zoning, design, and related issues relating to the proposed project are outside the scope of this public hearing. Lastly, general comments regarding capital resource corporations are not relevant to this public hearing. As previously stated, copies of the notice of the public hearing are available on the table. Now, unless there is any objection, I'm going to suggest waiving the full reading of the notice of this public hearing and instead request that the full text of the notice of the public hearing be inserted into the record of the public hearing. The comments received today at this public hearing will be presented to the members of the board of directors of the issuer at a subsequent meeting of the issuer, at which meeting the members of the board of directors of the issuer will consider whether to approve the undertaking of the proposed project and the granting of the financial assistance, including the issuance of the bonds. The notice of this public hearing indicated that written comments could be addressed to Gary Demolowitz, the chairperson of the issuer. One written comment has been received by the issuer and will be inserted into the record of this public hearing. We will keep the comment period open until 5 p.m. on the calendar day before the meeting of the issuer, at which the issuer will consider approving the proposed project. Any comments received by such time will be included in the record to be considered by the issuer. I will now return the floor to Mr. O'Connor for the purpose of recognizing any representatives from the borrower and any citizens in attendance wishing to make a public comment.
Thank you, Ms. Wagner. At this time, I would like to introduce a couple of representatives of the borrower. I believe we have Nick Harshfield, a Tim Gorman, or a David Grosskloss. Is that so, gentlemen? Hello? Any of you on the phone?
They are.
I can't hear any.
I don't mean to interrupt. This is David Grosskloss. We're not able to hear.
Oh, okay. Guys, you gotta fix that. David, you can't hear us at all?
Very muted in about every fifth word. This is a little better if you've moved closer to a microphone. That does seem to help a little bit.
Okay. Hey.
The sound is all the way up.
Yeah, David, the only thing that I was going to suggest is that I was going to introduce you and your team, and you could do that yourselves, to make any remarks about the project itself, some of the details for the public hearing record.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
No, this is Nick Harshfield, CFO for Lifespace. So just a brief statement about our interest in Avila. We're very excited about having Avila become part of the Lifespace family. We just everything we know about Avila and all the work that we've done, we just feel like it's going to be a tremendous fit for our nonprofit organization. Quality community and great culture, and everything that we've learned up to this point continues to affirm our interest in having Avila join Lifespace and us becoming the member of the nonprofit organization. Dave, I don't know if you have any details of the transaction you want to share, or?
No, thank you, Nick. I think nothing further at this point than what was discussed at prior meetings, but happy to answer any questions to the extent anybody has any.
Okay, at this point, I will ask if there are any representatives from the affected tax jurisdictions to make any comments at the hearing today. I only see one representative of the taxing jurisdiction.
Okay. Here?
Yeah, we've got a stenographer, so if you just kind of aim your comments towards her.
Sure. Yeah, Darius Schonfar, Albany City Treasurer. We're here because we've had some discussions about where this project should be appropriately run through the county CRC or the city CRC. We believe it's the city CRC, and that's the extent of my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Shanafar. I don't see any other representatives from any taxing jurisdictions. Am I correct? Okay. I would now open it up to any comments from the general public who'd like to make any remarks.
Yes, please. My name is Liz Staubach. I'm the chair of the City of Albany's IDA and CRC. It's good to see you again. As Darius had mentioned, we plan to come here today for full public testimony at this hearing with a letter from counties, towns, IDAs, and CRCs, similar to the ones that we had transmitted to the county, the IDA, about 18 months ago.
Excuse me,
Yes.
if you could just address your comments to this project here.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Fortunately, it is our understanding that the bond issuance that is the subject of today's testimony is being referred to the City of Albany CRC. Assuming that that is the case, we wanted to thank the county CRC for your diligence in this matter. We, as members of the Albany City IDA and CRC, on behalf of our common council members, Mayor Opplers, and our partners in Bethlehem, Guilderland, Cohoes, Manans, and Colony, just let you know that we look forward to future discussions with each other and with all of our partners across the county on future issues of mutual interest and development across the county. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay, so I guess everybody's had an opportunity to speak. So at this point, we'll keep the, any online comments from either from our YouTube feed or YouTube TV or elsewhere? Okay. Maybe we'll just give it another 15 minutes or so, just in case anybody's late to joining. So we give sufficient time for any public comments. Something we can discuss with the board. Yes, we did. Because we're not, I gotta close this one. Okay, thanks. Did we get this stenographer a copy of the letter from the
Yes.
sponsor?
Sure. See the setup.
Interesting, huh?
Yes.
This was right into the record. I have not spoken to him. Have you? Spoken to him? No. It's a good time to go visit your son. Oh. San Diego's probably about 70 degrees. Tell me about it. It was hot. Oh, poor guy. Yeah. I hear even Florida was coming by. I hear even Florida was coming by. Yeah.
It's only something.
Because they don't understand. How much snow did she get? That's a lot of Did they lose power? Did she lose power? She didn't lose power. So here, that's the other thing, and the ice is getting on the wires and bringing them down.
She didn't do much driving. She started off with
Yeah. Really?
5 minutes left.
So what you
Car
North
fire
Carolina, they
also,
had
yeah,
that 100-car pileup or something like that. It's written in the CNN, they had, that was in north and south. Oh, they got stuck in the house with,
No, it's the neighborhood Facebook group.
yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Shit, they don't, what is it? The coldest it gets down there, it's what, down there, 40s maybe? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's. Oh, well, they.
Right.
Oh, God. But, you know, Amy Thompson, our CFO, her daughter's in doctor, she drives all over the country, down to Atlantic City, Atlanta, Georgia.
Think so.
Yeah, it's amazing. I hear they're even giving kids scholarships to college. We're all into cheerleading. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, that's good. So you got sister in Georgia too?
That's cute.
Oh, really?
So there is that. But,
My other sister is visiting her daughter. You know, and they got
I mean, what's my thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's everywhere. My son, and she works at the house. You know, she needs, so they had to hire somebody to come in and, they pay some outrageous money.
And I wanted to say.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting a lot of interest in the kids. Looking to
I finished my, Lego orchid. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Right.
Oh, is it?
So this, so you like build the pot and then the top pieces are just brown pieces. No, you just throw them in there. It was like the final step and it was like, just throw, yeah, and I was like. It was like, oh, okay.
all I did is.
Very cool. You gotta be on the first floor, and you have to have bathrooms that are specific to.
Did I tell you that I went to,
It's pretty,
last
pretty.
weekend I went to the Union RPI Cup?
Just come to the finance.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh,
My favorite part was the Zamboni. Yeah, look at it. And it's like, it was like so satisfying. Yeah, I took a boomerang and I got this guy getting
Did it look full?
checked right in my boomerang.
Oh. Because it's for county.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I found one. Here, this is the paint by that I've been working on.
You got a point. You got a point. Right.
Yeah, yeah, this one is big too. Yeah, I started on the background, and then I've been finishing up the front. But yeah, it's like a lot of, sort of tedious little lines and such.
Yeah. If anything,
Did I tell you that was on a room camera over in Doorbell? I told him I wanted to install it before he left, and he was like, okay, fine, and then he didn't, so I was like, can you go bring it out of your, he like put it in his room, I was like, can you go get it so that I can put it on, and so I put it on, and now every morning I do like a fit check.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so if there are no further comments, we've waited another 15 minutes. I will now close the public hearing at 3:30 PM, and thank you all for attending. Okay. Thanks, gents.